How we doing, people? Thought we'd do another wee Sunday Night Live. Just for an hour, like, you know. I don't know if I'm going to have people up. I'll see how I feel. I've just got a lot of things. Well, I'm saying a lot of things to talk about. It's just basically stuff for the past week. You know what I mean? And things that's going on. You know what I mean? I'll wait until anybody comes in. Anyway, how's all your week been, people? I hope it's all been well. I think wee Bob does this deliberately, man. Every time I seem to go live, Bob's live. Nah, we're all free to do our own thing, aren't we? But I went on Axel's earlier. It was just to basically tell the Northern King I was asking for him, man. He seems a nice guy, man, you know what I mean? And he's always been nothing but respectful to me. And plus I wanted to ask him if he was interested in doing I don't know, man. I wouldn't say a debate, but I would say more along the lines of what could I say? I don't know, flat earth and all this kind of stuff. You know, you could go deep into so many things, but you can take it tongue in cheek, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? That's just the way I see it. Anyway, 5 people in already, thank goodness. I'm blessed. Thank you, 5 people. I'm blessed. So I hope all your weeks have been good. I hope through the week and that there you were blessed as well. I'm off work at the moment. I've got at least possibly 11 days off, something like that. So you might see me a wee bit live a couple of times more, but the wee Ian comes first. The family come first, obviously, the same as everybody else's. I was wanting to first of all start talking about the UFC. I watched it this morning. I actually for one, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it this time. But what it did do to me is I don't just like watching the UFC for one. Big up Scottish and proud, pal. It's good to see you, my pal. I hope yours are well too, mate. I know I don't watch the UFC for these fucking one fight, you know what I mean? I like to watch it for all of them, but obviously the one that everybody's talking about was obviously the Paddy the Baddy one. I think that's, in my opinion, I thought that fight was a 50-50. I genuinely did. I thought Chandler, with his experience and with his ring knowledge and whatnot else, would have had enough to take Paddy the Baddy into deep waters. But what it also has shown me is that on the back of that, Paddy the Baddy also has stepped up his training and stepped up his thing to be able to get into the higher echelons of the UFC, and take my hat off to him because it was a really, really, really good performance with him last night. He didn't half game a tanking. But that tells me another thing, that Chandler is on his way doing. He really is on his way doing. That's, what's that, out of 7 fights, that's 5-2. That's what he's on now. He's had two wins out of 5. People have been cut for the UFC for less. Big up, Secret Squirrel, darling. I hope you're well. They've been cut for the UFC for less. So I know he brings numbers. I know he brings numbers, and he certainly does bring heat. You know what I mean? He certainly does. He certainly knows. Well, you enjoy yourself tonight, Squirrel pal. You take care, darling. I'll get a wee chat with you in a wee bit, pal. Okay. But there were another good fight in it too that a lot of people didn't thing we on, and it's actually a guy I like. I mean, I suppose people, he's like, in my opinion, he's like fucking Marmite. You either like him or you don't. It's Bryce Mitchell, and I knew Bryce was going to get beat because I've actually been watching a lot of the team, that John Silva and the team behind him. They're called the Fighting Nerds, right? It's this team for Brazil, and they're every one of them have got like a background in education and whatnot else, and every one of them have now, they're undefeated in something like, I don't know, fucking 30 something fights or something like that between the four of them, and every one of them's an absolute monster, and they're on the UFC now, so you're going to see a lot more of these guys, and I knew that Silva would beat Bryce. I think Bryce has hit his echelon. I don't see him going any higher. I really don't. He's an entertaining wee guy. He's got his opinions and that, but he's big up JC. No, JC, honestly, pal, I love him to bits, mate. I think Bryce is the man. Big up Gav, my pal. Yeah, I think Bryce is the man. But as I say, he's got opinions, and I shouldn't even be saying this, you know what I mean? Because we should fucking be able to say what we want to say. But Bryce is a God-fearing guy, and in my opinion, I do believe there's something, you know what I mean? And hey, fair play to him. He lives by the book, you know, and that's what I like about him. He's not one of these people that sits in a fence and just goes like that. I think the same. No, he's put his stamp out there and been like that. This is who I am. If you don't like me, fine, fair enough. The Hitler comments and that were, in my opinion, taken a lot out of context, because he did say before it was nothing to do with. It was nothing to do with. He only said the person that Hitler was before the other shit came. 2 seconds. Before all the other stuff that Hitler done, he was actually doing good things for the country. He was trying to bring Germany's economy back to Germany. You know what I mean? It was losing so much money to go to foreign things, and mainly the main people who were taking the money was obviously the Jewish guys. Right? I'm not shitting on the Jews. No sense, nothing at all. We've all got our opinions, but personally, I'll get you on in a minute. Bob's Apprentice, mate. I know, Joker, mate, honestly, he's absolutely, that's what I'm saying, mate. That's what I love about him. He's rawness. He's just so raw. I know, mate. I know. Give me 2 minutes, General, bro. That's what I like about him. He's raw. You know what I mean? And everything that he says comes out of him. If you know it's the truth, you know, because it's coming from his heart. He's not telling lies. That's what gravitated me to him. Like for when he first started. Don't get me wrong. See, when you look at him, he looks like you're not going to tell me it doesn't look like a wee boy. You know what I mean? He looks as if he wears makeup at times, man. I'm telling you, sometimes you look at him in certain ways, he's got fucking eyeliner on or something like that. But give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. So, wasn't really big into the UFC, but Bryce Mitchell got me into it quite a bit now.
Aye.
I like a guy that, you know, he stands by his beliefs. Like, he does not give a fuck. Like, do you know what I mean? He doesn't care that Dana White or whatever called him the dumbest guy on earth and everything. You know, he still doubles down on.
That's what I'm saying, mate. That's what I like about him, mate. Everything, you'll see with a lot of people. See everything that Bryce Mitchell says, it comes from his heart. It doesn't come from a place of trying to be political or trying to like talk out for this group or that group. He just says what he thinks, and that's what I like about him.
A lot of people would say Joe he's a Trump. Like, he obviously likes Trump, but he hates Elon Musk. He thinks Elon Musk is the devil. Like, but
I watched that one on Patrick Bet David, mate. It was a belter, wasn't it?
you would think most people would like, cause they like Trump, would then be like, oh, if he likes him, Elon is kind
Aye.
of like okay, but no, Bryce stands bad. He's like he's the devil himself. Like, so what I
Don't
mean.
get me wrong, mate. I've got my opinions on Musk myself, mate. Any person who goes for like one extreme to another within a certain space of time, mate, there's got to be something there. But it benefits both of them. It benefits Trump and it certainly benefits Musk, because Musk's only going to get all these government NASA contracts and everything. He's going to be the one, and you'll probably find out NASA will probably end up merging with Tesla.
SpaceX or whatever.
Yep. You'll probably find out that I wouldn't even say a merger. I think it would be possibly down to like a working together kind of thing, a 50-50 kind of thing, and that's where he'll make his money. He will become even more rich, man, through Trump. But aye, mate, I love wee Bryce, man, and I watching that last night, mate, I knew he was going to get beat. I knew it. I said it yesterday.
That guy's a good fighter. I didn't realise how good he was.
No, mate. Oh, that's what I was saying just before I come up, mate, man. Before you come on, mate, it was they're called the Fighting Nerds, right? And,
I've seen that all that sort of.
Every one of them can fight like a Turk. Honestly, man, they're all fucking. They all wear the specs and they've all got merchandise and memorabilia and all this crap, man. They're fucking brilliant, by the way. Absolutely brilliant.
Paddy Pimlo, dude, he was good last night. I had a feeling he was going to be different animal last night, like he was.
You know what I thought? Mate, I thought last night, and I'll be honest with you, I thought it was a 50-50, right? I thought I thought Chandler might have had a wee bit too much for him. I thought he maybe had a wee bit too much, as in, a wee bit more experience and whatnot else, but it's just shown me that's him. Chandler's on the way down. Chandler's going to become a gatekeeper now, and Pimblot's on his way up, because that was a step and a half, by the way, the night.
If anything, he would have submitted him, but in the interview after I watched, because I only watched it this morning, I woke up and I just stuck on. So the first thing I actually watched was Pimla's interview after, and he said that they had watched that much hours of footage of him, that the guy that he fought before didn't beat him or something, because he tried, when he got Chandler on the ground, he tried submitting him and couldn't get him. He couldn't get him in the lock or anything, so he ended up getting beat. So they realised that. So when he got him on the ground, instead of trying to submit him and not submitting him, that he just pounded him to fucking death, didn't he? Like, he hit him on the knee and fucking split him like a.
Oh, he done him big time, bro, man. But what? I went back, right? I actually went back and watched fucking some chat, because I was deaf. I see, look, when the fight was announced, I was 100% Chandler, 100%. Even in Susie Darling, I was 100% Chandler, honestly, mate. And I went back and watched some of his fights in Pride and in Bellator, right? He was a fucking machine, mate.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that's where his best days was in Bellator. Like.
Aye, but he's come out. I think that kind of shows I think that, in my opinion, that shows you the difference, the step up in level, mate. He's came there. It's the same as that other guy, man, who what the fuck's his name, man? Him who get fucking knocked out of Masvidal with a knee. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Anyway, he came part of the deal. For Mighty Mouse going to Bellator, and this guy came. Anyway, man. He was the man over there too, and he came out to UFC and found it's just a massive step up, and I think that's where Chandler's found it, because that's him.
What do you make
2-5.
What do you make of PFL?
I don't know what to think of that, mate.
No, me neither. No.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I I think it's been funded by Saudi money, mate, right? But I think there's a scam involved in it, mate.
Oh, let's like this TKO that's going to be funded by Saudi money, right? But you've got to remember, like, how many people are actually going to go and join that? Like, supposedly they've got. Now, to me, it either goes two ways with things. It's a bit like these Saudi football leagues that start up. Like, the poach players with the wage bill, but that are average enough, and then they'll get the players that are at the real tail end of their career that are absolute superstars that will attract their crowds. And then, but when they'll ever realistically, like, I can't see that TKO really doing, or whatever the fuck it's going to be called, really doing anything. It'll take years. Like, you think it's, like, people think that just because they've got the money that, so the next minute you'll have these people just joining it. Like, you've got to remember, half of these people are in contracts, well, there's forfeits, whatever, with other promotional companies, like some and Queensbury, whatever. Do you know? And a lot of people aren't going to go and fight for peanuts on that TKO because they're not just going to fire out the money. I don't think, because then the UFC fighters will probably go, well, why is he doing that over there with them, with Saudis, but he's and the paying us, because UFC fighters do get paid fucking peanuts. Like,
Considering the boxers, mate. Aye, you're 100% right. 100% right, mate. Well, see what you just said there, mate. You look at the other promotion that Hangway tried to do. Oscar De La Hoya tried to do. He tried to dip his feet into the kind of MMA market, and he done a Hangway way. And what do you call him? The Iceman. I'm trying to mind his fucking name now. The American guy fought the kind of other American guy, man. And there were two of them are past their prime. And that De La Hoya was saying, the UFC's so badly paid, it's unreal. I'm going to pay all these fighters right, all the rest of it. And after it, fucking Dana White went and done all his due diligence and came out, man, and it found out that the highest paid, out with the two main event guys, the highest paid guy was only $2,000.
holy fuck.
Mate, I'm no kidding. It was fucking crazy, man. Crazy. The other two got like, I think it was like 2 million or 2.5 million each, something like that. And then, so that's it. Chuck Liddell, Howler, mate. Chuck Liddell. Aye, but Hangway, just before that, mate, fucking Dana White actually contacted Chuck Liddell and said to him, listen, Chuck, I don't want you to fight anymore. I'll give you the money, the purse that you are going to get for this. I don't want you to fight. You know what I mean? Because he's seen him just as, listen, this is going to be fucking, you're going to hurt yourself, like, you know. And he offered him the money, but Chuck's like, no, I want to keep fighting. That's what fighters do, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen, like, this is the hang out to watch too. Watch Talk Sport. There was a couple of last week at one stage, and that asked Frank Warren, if your man, now that's your choice, he needs to retire. But that asked Frank Warren if he came to him and said, I want to fight again. What would you say? And Frank Warren, instead of just saying, like, the truth being, like, Joe Joyce is punch drunk. He needs to retire before he's literally punched in the coma, like, So instead of him just saying, well, my personal opinion would be, I would say, you need to retire. He just basically batted off the fucking question. Was like, I'd have to sit down with his team and him and see how he feels. Like, and I'm going to myself, that's a greedy fucking bastard. Not one fuck gave about the fighter herself. Like, that's, I don't know where Joe Joyce has a wife and kids or anything, but comes to a point that, especially heavyweight boxing, never mind, any combat sport comes to a time when, if that's because that's all they want to do, ain't they? Like, they just want to keep fighting it. You need to actually just, somebody needs to stand up in a company and say no, like, just to retire, or go train somebody or something, do something.
Aye. See, I noticed that. I don't know. I'm trying to mind who Joyce's last fight was before that Skelton we got. I'm trying to mind it, but mate, there were signs in that fight, mate. He was going that way. You could see it, his head movement and that, mate. Aye, but I totally agree with you, mate. I do think, but guys like fucking Frank Warren and Hangman, mate, it's all money. They don't give a fuck. They just want to see these fucking fighters drain them for every penny they can, mate, and give them the least that they can. Do you know what I mean? But very, very seldom these promoters take it personally. You know what I mean? There's only kind of like one promoter I've ever seen taking it like personally, man. You know, obviously Kolzagi. You know what I mean? Because Kolzagi was a fucking good fighter, but the thing about Kolzagi is he had his dad beside him. Do you know what I mean? And his dad fucking kind of had his ear a lot, and that kind of pushed him towards that kind of way, mate. How you been anyway, mate? I've not seen you in a wee bit, pal.
I'm dead on, but it's just been taking it easy. So I haven't been into it in a while. I mean, so.
This fucking horse that's more than it.
Did you watch the Rangers match today?
Honestly, mate, I'm actually dumbfounded, mate. I really am. I don't know how. I genuinely don't know how we can go into Europe, mate, and produce. Don't get me wrong. Should we have been beat against Bilbao? Probably, but we're still coming out and putting in a performance. And how can we fucking do this in Europe, but we can't get up for playing St Mirren at fucking on a Sunday, mate? I just don't get me wrong, mate. The last 3 games, I've kind of thought how things are going. I thought we're going to lose points. We're going to lose a lot of points here. And I'm glad that it isn't we're still in the race, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm fucking glad because Ferguson would have been out the window if we were still in the race, you know what I mean?
Yeah, coming into he playing that Thursday, Sunday, coming into this end, you looked at his team today, even his players that were there, and you were going, Jesus, Rangers need fucking a good 4 players at least.
I think there's more, mate. I think it's more, pal.
No, I think it's more, but it's well get more is the question. But 4 at least good players that I don't know where they'll get them from or what, but to get at least 4. Like
my rubber Mac, pal.
It's came to the stage now, it's no point even selling Tavern here. You get fuck all money for him, so you're stuck with him now. Probably till his contract runs out.
We should have fucking let him go in fucking January last year, mate. That's just my opinion.
I said a few years back, they should have let him go when you could have got at least between 15-20 million for him.
Yeah. Because see, this is where we are fucking terrible, mate. We are terrible. See, Celtic, you've got to take your hands after Celtic. They seem to sell the players at the right time. Right? Yeah. We are so far fucking behind Celtic on that fucking on that part.
You don't have nobody to replace them with, so Rangers did them, but that way right back. Well, sure. Do you look at the Nathan Patterson situation and everything? Do you know what I mean?
See, before we go any further, General, mate, Joker, mate. Honestly, pal, I am so sorry to hear about that, Joker, pal. I lost my dad 5 years ago, mate. And what you say there is 100%, mate. So listen, mate, you're in my fucking thoughts, mate. I just hope you're all right, mate. And just keep the chin up and try and fight through it, mate, because there's nothing what you can do, pal. You've just got to go with it and keep the upper chin. But I'm thinking about you, mate. And you're in my prayers, bro. I hope you're all right. Sorry about that, mate.
No, still.
No, I just seen it the other now that like the Joker had put up there, man, and fucking heart went out to him, mate. 'Cause I lost my old boy a couple of years ago and all. And it fucking floored me for fucking the best part of 3 years. You know what I mean? I was in a fucking terrible place, mate, just because of losing my father. But you did get better, didn't you, mate? You did get it. I don't know if you've lost any parents yourself, mate, but
no parents. I lost my granddad.
Lucky you, mate. Lucky you, pal, because I wouldn't wish it on anybody, pal. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But hey, that is what it is, mate. Anyway, I don't know. What's your theory on the flat Earth, then, mate?
I think it's flat. I think what Bryce Mitchell says is true. And that's not me even being. I think I've always thought that. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's flat with like a dome kind of thing. Like I just can't see how it's round and spins and fucking this mad shit. And I know that's me saying it's mad shit, but then people go he's mad for saying it's flat and all. But there's no fucking ever like people go science. But everybody's only ever been knows what they've been taught at school. Do you know
Exactly,
what I
mate.
mean? So you're
Exactly.
only led to believe. If you were led to believe everything you were taught in them shitholes, then it still hasn't changed.
You
So
know,
I've always said it's flawed. Yeah, like I think one of the best things, and people I don't know about this, but one of the best things, and it was I think I actually got it off Bryce Mitchell was he said like a helicopter goes up
yep,
right, and then when you come down, even though you're just hovering, you land in the exact same spot. I was like, how does that work? Like, cause how does it work? If the world's spinning, cause you don't spin if you're in the air, like.
100%, mate. I totally agree with you. I mean, I've got fucking. I'm gonna try and get something sorted out with a live with maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 people on it, and we can do a back and forward. You know what I mean? Because Lammy thinks it's round when I'll let this cunt up. Lammy thinks
I think definitely. I
Lammy
think
thinks
it's right.
it's
In
round.
fact, I just change it just to make sure. No,
So I'm
but
trying to get myself something sort, but between the group,
I'm just up for a second, just because see the helicopter thing. It's just to do with scale and size. That there's a good argument, right, where somebody
but
says
what about movement,
no,
Lammy?
no. I'm going to bounce off for a second because I've got to go and do something, but I'll be back on. But right, the guy says if you turned your car wheel right at 1 inch and for a full year you drove with a car going round at 1 inch, would you feel yourself going in half a straight line? Even though after a year of 365 days at an inch, your whole total you'd be like miles away from the middle. You wouldn't feel it.
But what?
But
Right,
you're on land.
correct. It's
No, but you
still
get what I
movement.
mean, though.
I mean,
Eh?
it's still movement,
It's the
mate.
same way the world's spinning. It's to do with the size. That's what people didn't take into account.
I'm sorry, mate. The
That's what I think. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm shocked how many folk think it's a flat Earth. Honestly, I didn't think there was as many believers in the flat Earth.
I mate. Well, listen, mate. I wouldn't say I am. I wouldn't say I'm 100% flat earther, mate. Right?
Yep.
I look at things. See, something's got to make sense to me for me to go 100% behind it, right? It's
Yep.
got to be 100. I've got to understand it in my brain and see what Disney. See what Disney, mate. I'm like, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? So
Aye. No,
here's one
listen,
for you, mate.
I'm like Northern King. I'm open to listening to both sides, man. Like I
Right.
only wind in folk up by saying it's round and
Well,
it's not flat.
I spoke to Northern King
I
earlier to
saw
see if
you
we
on
can get some.
Actuals. Aye.
Aye, just to see if we can get big up, Chris. I
I just shared your life for whatever
oh,
that'll do. I
cheers.
don't know what
Thanks,
that'll
mate.
do. But have you seen these action figures that Howlerhead and Eric Bischoff has been doing, mate?
Listen. By the way, I've got to take my fucking hat off these, man. See that action figure? That is a fucking belter,
Did you
mate.
see the one they done
That
to
is,
me with the Valium and that, the yellow trainers one, and
I've not seen that one yet, but what I will say
oh,
is, Howler and Eric Bishop.
Eric.
I'll tell you one thing.
You see?
That is
Sorry.
how I pictured Baz in my mind.
And then you seen the Moggles one he's just done? Fucking
I've not seen
hell,
it, mate. No.
it's Moggles to a T, mate. There's a Baz, a Moggles, an Eric Bischoff and Baz double pack. There's a Dan Riley sitting like Stephen Hawkins in a wheelchair. Pump the link out again, wish you just in case somebody's came in
I'm going to, mate. I'm going
too
to,
late, bro. Just it's a bit. Are you on your phone?
No.
All right, see, you'll not realise with the clutter and all that, but it's honestly, mate, I'm just gutted I was late to the table because I would have. See, the fun these guys can have with this, man, it's just endless.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. This is the bit that I wanted to get into. This is what I wanted us to fucking do. You know what I mean? Me, you, fucking Jerry,
Yep.
Nilo, Scouse. No, I thought we would. I thought that would be a. But as I say, man, we all get all.
I'm going to
different
use it
ideas,
as
mate.
my face thing, like the actual figurehead for like my avatar and that. Like I think everybody else should start doing it when they get their characters. Gav B will be one. Gav B needs a kilt though, and pickleballs, I reckon.
You know what I think Gab B is? Do you know who I think he is?
Apart from a wanker, go for it.
No. Right. I don't know if anybody's watched The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Right. See Wally, the janitor.
Groundskeeper.
Aye, that's Gav. That's who I think he when I think of Gav. Or Wally, man. That's who I think he Gav. And do you know the only reason why it is? It's because he's got fucking.
Can I just say something to you?
The carrot here.
Joker again, mate. I've been talking to you all weekend, bro, and I wasn't even aware of that, mate. So fucking, obviously, like second what Wishy says, my thoughts are with you, mate. And anything like you're a good lad, mate, and fucking always cracking jokes. So fucking. I lost my father 3 years ago, and the last thing I says to him was, "Dad, you'll be getting home, don't worry, pal." And 20 minutes later, he died in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. But it's tough times. But if you need any help through it, mate, you've got good folk around you, bro.
You're right, Susie, darling. You're the fucking gaffer around here, hen. 100%, hen.
I'm chief of security,
Susie, pal. 100%. And see when I come out, Susie, I'm coming out in the next 3 weeks' time. I'm coming out to see the wee man. I'm hoping to get where we can all fucking meet up and fucking get to know each other a wee bit.
I'll maybe come here for the day, wish you, and come back the next day. I'll not go.
That's what you fucking do then, mate. That's what you do.
I was gonna say that to you, but I'll stay at a hotel for the night, mate. But and then just come back the next day. But Susie's the gaffer because she's so worried. This is the story of the hurricane. The batteries came to blame.
No, do you know what it is, mate? Lammy? I just there's no bullshit, mate. It's just straight down the fucking line. There's no snideness. There's no wideness. It's just she just says her thoughts, mate, and that her thoughts and her thought process aligns with me. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I like her. That's why I like what she does and what she's all about. You know what I mean?
100%.
And her husband's a fucking nutter, man.
I remember a certain hurricane talking me through a fucking technical issue, and your cunt is well named the Hurricane. That's all I'm going to say about it. Like,
oh, brilliant, mate. Absolutely fucking brilliant, man. That night he came on that live, mate. I think it was Scousers, mate. Oh, mate, the fucking shit.
It was it no PPs? Because PP says I've got something in the back called a Hurricane, and I'm like, I've seen that name before.
It wasn't PPs, mate. I think it was Scousers, mate.
And
you could tell every cunt in the panel, jaws were hot the grunt. You know
because PP's like, I don't know if I should let Hurricane on, and says he's like, aye, that's blah blah, and I'm like, right, go for it. It's your panel.
Oh, honestly, mate, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So he is. He's straight to the point, mate. But do you know what I think about that, Lammy? Imagine what he's like in real life.
Well, like I say, I had a conversation about a technical issue, and it's like, come on, you fucking idiot! If you can't do this, you can sell that. Come on, fuck, get your head together.
No, Susie, I think I like him, mate, and the reason why I like him, not just because of you, because he says what he thinks, and a lot of people have not got that filter. You know what I mean? Some of us can hold back, but he can't, mate, and that tells me there's an honesty about him. You know what I mean?
Susie's the same, like, you know what I mean?
Aye. In a different kind of way, but I understand what you're saying, mate. I understand what you're saying. Hey, listen.
He's rock. That's a good. What's that? Get to Glasgow Buchanan Street bus station and get that's where the ferry terminal is.
Well, just so you know, mate, I'm going down. I'm going down on the train, so I could get you at Central Station in Glasgow. Do you know what I
Maybe
mean? And
Liz
we could head down.
Scousers then. Aye. I mean, like I said, gives a bell, and the more notice, the better. Like,
Right. Well, listen, mate. This is the last
but we
I'm going
can
to
talk
say it.
about this. We can talk about this offline, mate. No worries.
I am right, but the last thing I'll say this, David, I'm going on the 2nd. The 2nd is the date. It's all. I've got my ferry and all that all booked. It's all done, and
Yeah.
I'm going to. I'm going to get the train stations right next to my house, so I'm just going to jump the trains right through to Glasgow, and then you get a train through there down the coast. You know what I mean? And it takes you right to where you need to go, mate. Exactly where you need to go, pal. There's no big long walks or anything like that, like it was in Lichtenrah. You know what I mean? It's like right next to it. So that's what I'm doing. I can't fucking wait, mate. I cannot wait, mate. Can't wait to go and fucking to meet the troops, man, and have a fucking laugh with them, man.
That's it, man. Like I say, I've met a few folk offline now, in person, and it's a brilliant film, mate.
Fucking hell, there's Tunesy. How we doing, Tunes? You got him up, bro?
It's happening. He's tunes.
Where's Scum? Is that what you said? Scum there?
That's his name. Sometime when he's in Pepperami. Tunes, you jump up. You were up there earlier on, man. It was a good convo.
That's what I'm saying. See that tunes that comes up? That's the tunes that you can sit and fucking hang with me.
No, that's his. I'm on his 7th night with no drink, so.
Oh, is he stopped boozing? Like,
Yep. Oh, you need to make a tunes character, Howlerhead and
Howler, you just took the words right out of my mouth there, mate.
A nipple and a canny fella.
Do you know what? I can actually picture it in my mind. The new Lammy, what it's going to look like.
Oh, aye. We need a tunes figure. Julian Shuffling. There's plenty. John Smith. Yes, Eric. Eric, next time I'm live, pop in, mate. I'm going to mod you up because you fucking that was brilliant. That was top class. That figure.
See that situation and see that carry on, the likes of Eric and Howlerhead and that. This is what we should fucking, this corner should be about. Having a fucking laugh and having a bubble, and you know what I mean? I thought that was brilliant. Even though I've never really spoke to Baz, I just thought that's exactly how in my mind, how I see the guy.
Oh, aye. See, the Dan Riley one's even better because it's like how I picture Dan Riley. It's like Stephen Hawkins. You know what I mean? It's like it's brilliant. It looks like they've done it. It's brilliant, mate. I've got the Garbage Pail Kid hang on, but they've got the figure hang on, and it's just fucking ultra amazing. It comes in a box with accessories. I've got Valium. What's the other thing? Valium. What is the other thing? And I've got yellow trainers on. Oh, there's something else. There's a bottle of Fives, but Valium.
If Howlerhead can put it in the, I'll know it. I'll just go to Howlerhead's and Eric Bischoff and see them. Aye,
it's Eric Bischoff that's got that, but Howlerhead's got Moggles, Baz, Masters, and a few others. It's just amazing, mate.
Aye, they're good, mate. Honestly, I take my tip of the hat. Howlerhead.
I can't believe I never even thought about that either, man. I just never. I done the Garbage Pail Kids because I had one for like Bob Carr, Jenny B, a lot of us. I had a load of us ready to go, and the Garbage Pail Kids were names wrote out. Mm-hmm. But I just never went and done it in Pirate. But this figure thing's just fucking amazing, like.
Oh, brilliant, mate. It's amazing what you can do with AI these days, mate, isn't it?
Well, that's just chat GTN or whatever it's called, GPN or whatever.
Chat GTP or GTC.
Aye, the one I was using was called Photo Leap, so it was like fucking like costing some daft, like what was it, 15 a month or 15 a week or something?
Aye.
And this chat GBT, and it's funny because Peter Mellon, I used to play a hang with Peter Mellon. We go, Lammy is a beautiful man. He's a beautiful soul. He's a beautiful man. So Eric Bissoff has took that like hang with, and it's Brad Pitt, but like in the face with it if I'm ever in
I've
any
seen it, mate. I've seen it. It's quite a good one.
Hit that on the figure with yellow trainers and a bottle of Valium, and that's just brilliant, mate. Honestly, how you, if you can't laugh at that, man, there's some wrong with you. Like,
Nelly, I'll tell you what, darling, you're 100% right. I've got family round about the Crumlin Road, and honestly, see the people.
Peanuts, that's what it is. Sorry,
I love them.
Wishy.
Absolutely brilliant. They people are that's who I've got a fucking a hang with them, you know what I mean, an affinity with them, you know what I mean. I just love the people, and I love the area. I just feel that's where I should be staying, you know what I mean.
See, I'll be honest with you, Wishy, right? I knew bugger all about Ireland till I started coming on YouTube, like, because we never got taught anything in the schools through here or anything. It was always just like the North was against the South, and it was just pretty much you knew more about it through Rangers and Celtic than you did anything else.
See that there, the Rangers and Celtic stuff, mate. That's no even a fucking.
That
isn't even pulling the lid off it, mate. You know what I mean?
What my point is I learnt more about Irish history and religion through Rangers and Celtic than I did at any like school, or it was like they buried it. And it wasn't I got talking to like Irish Neil and all that, and then Susie and that came along. You start getting different layers of it on. Like they're a tough people, especially the ones in Belfast, because that's where it was all going on. You know what I mean?
Aye. No, honestly, mate,
the whole country was at a civil war. I mean, what do you call that? A civil war, wouldn't you?
Aye.
In a way, I suppose.
Well, but see, there's a bit
because the British
you don't know about, because the army was playing both sides. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although they were helping one side, they were also doing the other side too, mate. You know what I mean? It was all a big fucking. It was all
they
a big.
Put me on some good programs, Wishy, where it was like the Black Hill Butchers, is it, or the
Shankle Butcher?
Shankle Butcher. Mate, there's just a plethora of stuff on YouTube if you want to watch it.
Mate, man, I could. Listen. I'm not coming on here and saying I know more than the fucking Irish people they're saying, because the
Scots have got some history too, Wishy, man.
Of course we have, mate.
Gone back to the Celts, and we've got a great fucking.
The Celts and the Picts.
Our clan wars were fucking horrible in the way we got done dirty by the English, you know that. But it's just it goes back like to the 1100s and all that, more than when it was castles rather than like borders. It was. Like the way that the Stuarts and the Campbells and the MacDonalds treated the rest of the clans and chased us all about Scotland, and then you had the Picts and all that, and then
the Picts made us. The Picts were the ones that kind of made us who, because they were the Picts. That's how the Vatican they sent out missionaries and all the rest of it, man, and to get rid of the old pagan religion, and it was a Picts.
What was his name? The guy the headhunter that they sent up for London, Henry Henry's main man. But like my point is be proud of your country.
100%, mate.
Like even if I'm saying I'm proud of Scotland for fighting against England, but England should be proud of what it done on a global stage. At Wales, I don't know much about Wales, but I'm saying. Be proud of where you came from. Look into a bit of your history, and you'll be surprised.
Well, this might sound a bit hangry to you, mate, but I'm Scottish, mate, but I feel more an affinity to the Irish. I always have, mate. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I've not, to be honest with you. I'm Scotland through and through, but I feel like the Irish have got a bit in common with us. Just at the time, the English were like the big enemy kind of thing. But
100%.
I bleed blue like tartan, like you know what I mean. I bleed tartan. But I have got a affinity for the way that they got treated and fired out of America as like slaves and all that stuff, and the potato famines and shit like that. But I'm I'm a Scotsman, but I respect the Irish fight, and I respect anybody that had to put up with like getting that kind of shit done to them.
Yeah, 100%. So where are you going?
You've got family in that Ireland, whereas I've no, mate. You know what I mean? So
Fucking all right.
that's where
Don't get me
I've
wrong,
not really got
Northern
any.
Ireland, mate, but
I respect them, no, definitely to respect any country.
both
Everybody should be proud
sides
of
of the
their.
coin to you. I've got a Catholic family in Ballymena, and I've got Protestant family in Belfast. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, mate, they're so nice people, man. I'm not just saying that to big up the Irish and that, man, but honestly,
Do you know the Scottish was the worst crime you could ever commit in Scotland? Did you know what that was?
Will you tell me?
It comes to do with the Glencoe massacre, right? The worst crime,
aye.
worse than rape, worse than I don't know if it's worse than paedophilia, but back then was if you let people stay under your roof, right?
That's right.
Offered them
Aye.
safe shelter, but then you cut their throat in their sleep.
Yep.
That's how the Glencoe massacre happened, because the McDonald's gave.
That's what
I can't remember. It was the Stuarts and the Campbells and the McDonald. It was today with the three main clans and the Glencoe massacre. But one of them gave safe passage to a certain other clan, and in the night they slit so
I know
their throat.
all about it, mate. They played.
But
See that film, the Outlaw King. They played a lot of it through that, and it showed you a lot of it through that, mate.
Right. But see,
There's
like
something-
over centuries, mate, we've all been through the troubles. No, like the troubles, like as in Irish, but
Nothing.
I think it's just that Ireland's troubles are more closer to like our memory than like all the other countries in Britain. Because we've all had our problems, you know what I mean? We joined up with Ireland to fight the English at one point, and we joined up with the French, and like it's what was his name? Pons Corleone or something.
Right, but do you know the reason why the French got involved?
Why did the French get involved?
Yes.
I was it not something to do because the English were trying to force them to marry?
Nope.
I don't know.
It was because of the Jacobites.
The Jacobites.
Jacobite. A lot of the Jacobites had to
Is that
flee
with Charles
Scotland.
the First or something?
They had all to flee to France because they were going to get killed in Britain, and they formulated an army, and the French basically backed their cause. Do you know what I mean? They backed
Charles the
cause.
First ended up getting killed, did they know, at the end for it executed.
Well, I'll tell you a good show, mate. I know.
Do you know why they killed William Wallace so wishy, wasn't he? As glorious as it looks in the film,
what's
it was
What's it fuck, man?
hung, drawn, and quartered was fucking like one of the worst ways you could get killed. You had your organs laid at the side of you, then you got pulled apart before horses after you had been dragged through the square, we getting pelted with rocks and humiliated.
Aye.
I've got to laugh at Masters. Masters thinks Robert the Bruce and William Wallace lived in the same time fucking scale. You know what I mean? You couldn't have been about a century apart. Fucking, they just done that. It was like, you know how they take liberties in Hollywood, they'll take liberties with certain films.
Aye. But Masters, he's not looking well at all, the new mate. I've seen him earlier.
I used to joke and say that his hair looked like smoke, but fucking hell, he's looking fucking really rough.
Aye, he's looking rough, and it's not even a haircut. You know what I mean? You know, it's nothing to do with a haircut. Like, I think the guy needs fucking a friend to fucking speak to him.
He needs a friend and not a drinking partner.
Yes, 100%, mate, 100%. But listen, there was something I was wanting to say, right? Earlier on, right, there was a live starter. I'm not gonna know anybody here when I say this, right? But one of your close friends, you know, he comes away from this, right? He doesn't want any more to do with it. You know what I mean? He comes away from this, but he keeps getting brought back with people mentioning his name, fucking down, hanging on, playing him bad. I mean, they're the night again on gyms, playing Hangs Up for 3 years ago, And you like to yourself, and you wonder why the guy goes in these. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. Aye.
He's trying to
I
just
take it.
fucking let
I
it
know. I
go,
think I know
man.
what you're
Just
talking about.
do you
Just
know
let
what I
him get
mean?
on with his fucking life, man. For
Aye,
fuck's sake.
exactly, 100%, man. The guy's fucking his own life, man. He's a dad, man. He's damn brilliant as a father, you know what I mean? He doesn't need this shit. But
Listen, we've all
he's
got
one of
problems, and he's no
the cunts,
causing
man,
any.
that does not fucking take. If you want to start with him, mate, he can fucking end it. But he doesn't want to be that way. Do you know what I mean?
I didn't watch Jim or that for the certain reason, just to see it, because it's just like watching. I say this a lot as an analogy. It's like watching gay porn. It doesn't do nothing for me, mate. So it's the same as there's a couple of channels I'll just not watch, mate, and that's partly the reason. Is
Do you know something, mate? Right. Certain things that goes on here, mate. I'm trying to distance myself from fucking all the shit. But like yourself, mate, we just want to come on here for one reason: enjoy yourself, right? And to try and create some form of a community where there's no shit. I mean, there's a few people in here the now, and that's ghosting and that like Jim, right? Now I don't have a problem with that, man. I would never tell anybody to go anywhere, right? But I'm sitting back and watching. They moan about him, what they do to him, but they still talk about him and give him more ammunition to fire back at them.
Can I just say one thing, right? And I'm only going to say one thing about it, all right? It's what really does my tits in, right? Is I could understand if what they were saying about the guy was something that he'd done fae they fell out with him. But they knew all this.
Correct, 100%.
When they were modding for him, when they were running about fighting battles for him, and then all of a sudden, because he's went a different way, all that, it's like, oh, you're this, you're that. It's like, no, you always
100%.
knew that. You always fucking
100%.
knew that. And because they tried to build a few bridges with Shufflins and Lindsay's and all other ones, every cunt decided to attack and turn on the boy, and that's what I'm going to say about it, mate.
Nah, well, I totally agree with what you said there, pal. I totally agree with you. Because the people who were siding with him and knew about everything, I mean, we know the truth. We all, you know what I mean? We know what's what. We know exactly what's what. So I don't care about what the 10 miles that gets added on to everything. Do you know what I mean? So, end of story, mate. I just wanted to bring that up there, man. It's just people need, aye, Susie, 100%, hen, 100%. It's moaning about them, going at them, but then still giving the guy a reason still to go at them. It's bullshit. But listen, see the victim claiming that comes along with it, then they sit and talk about other people who victim claims. Do you know what I mean?
I'll just say
I'm not talking about it anymore, man, because the wee man's not here. You know what I mean?
Just didn't keep poking the bear, or you'll know, like it's biting. That's all I'm going to say about the matter. Like, just keep poking, and you'll know about it. Like,
exactly, Susie. Exactly, pal. Even out with her as Susie. I know. Listen, Susie. I know you've got a good fucking friendship, hen. Do you know what I mean? And see that? I think that's brilliant, hen. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm the exact same as yourself, hen. And I don't want to do this every time I'm coming up. Do you know what I mean? But it's just fucking sad. I'm just tired of hearing people saying all the nasty stuff and what he can do, and then they're sitting having a go. And I'm like, can you not just shut your fucking mouth and just let it go? Or do you want him to come back again and fucking totally destroy it? Do you know what I mean? It's one of the ones. But as I say, mate, I want to move on for that, mate. But listen, Lammy, there was something I was wanting to say to you. Do you know, see the flat earth theory?
what about it?
Right. Do you know the flat earth theory?
Chapman Mills it. Sorry.
The flat earth theory isn't something like just new. You know, the flat earth theory goes back to, there's a point in the 1800s where they started a society.
The sailors used to think they could sail off the end of the sea.
Yep. But there were a guy called Sam Robotham, right? and he was a big, massive fucking flat Earth guy. Now this guy was in high society, like he was an author. He was a
Is that the pilot? No.
No, he wasn't a pilot. No, this is in 1816, right? And he made a society, right? He made this society, the Zealotic Society, I think it was called, something like that.
The
And it was
Zealots.
no, Zealotic, no
Zealotic.
Zealotic.
Right.
And that's what it was all about, people for the same walk of life, who thought the same and who were I wouldn't say educated, but he died, and then there were another woman called Lady Bolt, her name was, and see her, she was part of aristocracy, mate.
Yeah.
And she was fucking even dishing out the flat earth thing and all that, even without all this fucking technology that we have these days. So it's no a new thing, mate. Stuff like this has been happening for fucking too long, mate. Honest, and it's
I think it'll be good.
GC said, mate. GC said earlier, and he made a good point. What we were taught in schools is bullshit. End of story, man. Bullshit. We didn't get taught anything in school. We get taught how to work.
We got taught what they wanted us to know.
Yep.
I've got a famous picture I put up on one of my community posts, and it's two blocks. It's a wooden man taking his son as a wooden block into school, and it's an axe as the teacher, and you can see all the other wooden blocks sitting as wee miniature versions of their dad taking them in. It's something like that. And there's another famous one where there's these men like standing up bent over, and there's a board on their back, the Monopoly board, and it says underneath it, if we all stand up, the Monopoly board will crumble. And I think we're coming to a point where there's going to be a revolution, and it's going to be through this immigration with Islam and Christianity. I've been watching a lot of Speaker's Corner stuff for the last 4 years, and this Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawah, this new aged modern Muslim or extremist Islamist, the whole Tommy Robinson carry on, when he comes out of jail, I can see there being a revolution in the next couple of years. I've been watching a lot of Douglas Murray. I don't know if you watched that Joe Rogan Douglas Murray podcast, didn't you?
Yeah. But
there's been a lot of talk about that because it split Douglas Murray fans right down the middle. They're saying Douglas Murray lovers have went against him because he was meant to be a right winger, but because he loves Israel and he's been to Israel and he's seen it firsthand with the Hamas. But watch. I would suggest to anybody out there, watch Joe Rogan with Douglas Murray. And if you think he's talking nonsense, then you didn't really. And watch a bit of Douglas Murray. This guy's predicting by 2030 there'll be a revolution in Britain. Like that's it. That, and he even said he's scared to think that it's going to even happen sooner.
I think that, I'll be honest with you, mate. I think in the next, I'll give it 5 years. I think there's going to be a civil war, and I think it's going to be the people against the government. That's my opinion, right? And when I say the government, I think there will be a certain ethnicity that will be backing the government.
Can I say something? Well, just wish you please. Right, this is why I think the government are letting as many fighting men. As you'll notice, it's not the Muslim women and children that are coming out. It's men of fighting age that should be fighting in their countries. They're bringing them over to make us no fight the government. They're bringing over an enemy for us to fight, to keep them off our radar. And I'm talking about Islam, no Muslims. I'm talking about the ideology that is Islam, that says that Islam will not be finished until every non-believer is wiped off the face of the planet. Yeah. Every person that doesn't believe in Islam. I'm talking about the ideology. Now,
Yep.
I reckon that's why the numbers that they're hiding for us, mate, are frightening. But the amount that they're letting in at the moment is mental, and I can see it coming to a revolution, bro. Where, like you say, in the next 5 years, it's going to be a religious war. They're going to call it, but it's not. It's just a war of common sense. You keep bringing people in that only want to integrate with us. Pakistan, they've been coming in for the 80s and they integrated with British culture, loved the British culture, worked aside us, assimilated in with our traditions, took our holidays. But this new breed, these Muhammad Dawas and Ali Dawas, and Muhammad Hijabs and that, this Speaker's Corner, modern day fringe Islamist is going to be the thing that destroys us from within. I reckon it's already too late, I think. Like, that's just my personal. That's my personal.
The seeds have been sowed. I think it's just going to be a matter of time. But my thought process is on.
Go for it, mate.
My thought process is on who is going to be doing the fighting in Britain. In my opinion, as I say, I firmly believe that it's going to be two ethnicities going at each other, right? And one ethnicity is going to be backed by the government. And it's a sad thing.
I know what one it is.
It's a sad thing for me to say, but the people who were born here, they're not going to have their government backing them.
Of course they're not, mate.
And I mean that for Parliament and the Scottish Parliament. We're going to be backed we're going to have nobody, right? We're going to have nobody, and this is where everybody's going to need to come together.
See,
right?
this would be I
don't believe that Tommy Robinson is the right guy, but I do believe in some of the things he's doing. He's trying to bring everybody together, right?
Well, if it wasn't for Tommy Robinson, we wouldn't even be half the way the distance we've came, mate. That guy is in jail now as a terrorist for releasing a videotape about a kid that wasn't even as young as he says he was going to school. And he was a wee cunt threatening to stab wee lasses in the school. And the big brother of that kid slam dunked the wee boy on the ground because he said he was going to grape his sister. That got totally politicised, and Tommy Robinson got warned, you play that video, you're going to jail. So he's a terrorist. He's been treated as a terrorist, bomber terrorist, because he played a video that he got told not to play, which didn't have any lies in it. It had his teachers and everything saying the exact same thing.
There's a wee lassie on. Don't get me wrong, mate. This is kind of off topic a wee bit. There's a wee lassie on TikTok, a wee Scottish lassie on TikTok, who discovered, and I'm going to try and word this as best as I can. Right, this wee Scottish lassie on TikTok had found out that her child was being abused at nursery. Right? So now our local social security and police are trying to spin it and make her look as if it's on her head. It's terrible. And the wee lassie's videoing every interaction, and they're coming to her door with social workers and all that, trying to check. It's as if they're trying to warp her mind. Yeah.
The way it's set up now, mate, right, is sick. You seen that Grapey Britain, the documentaries Robinson went to jail for the first time?
Yes, I have.
Right, now what you've got to ask yourself is, why is that illegal? Why does he go on a programme and it's always EDL, combat?
You're right wing.
Aye, total right wing this, right? Not that man, right? That man grew up in Luton, right? And when his troops came home from Afghanistan, he sat and watched his troops getting spat on for Muslim Islamists that walked through the community centre to have front row seats at the rails to spit on the very soldiers that had went and fought for this country. And that's what sparked Tommy Robinson off. Tommy Robinson kicked all the Nazis out of the EDL, and then he left the EDL when he realised that he couldn't win being part of the English Defence League because they were branded as a hooligan mob. Mate, the guy is a hero. The stuff he has gave up, he's a modern day hero, and I'll argue with anybody that says that Tommy Robinson isn't sitting in a jail cell unjust at the moment. He stood outside a court case where people were getting done for molestation, right? And he asked them how they were feeling about their cases. He never says anything, mate. And he got lifted and jailed for 18 months. And he had to survive on tins of tuna because the Muslims were making his food.
Yep.
Watch Tommy Robinson's interview with Jordan Peterson, or watch a couple.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, the guy, I'm not just sitting here with my right arm in the air going, Zeke Hale. I've watched hours of this stuff, mate, and the way they've treated that guy is fucking outrageous. And he knows more about the Haran or Quran or whatever you call it than most of the proper the fringe Islamists. He's read it word to word. He wrote his own version of the book. It's Britain, though. We've sold our souls, mate. We're too scared to be one.
Yep. This is the thing, Lammy, and this cultural divide that's been made, this left versus right thing, is played right onto the fucking, you know.
Nelly, I know. Okay.
It's played right into their fucking hands, mate. You know what I mean? The people who are trying to do this. I don't know, mate, man. We are just so divided as a nation. So divided as
Can I come into that point?
Of course you can.
Right, what you've got to think of with you, right, is, right, you've come from another country, right, so you're going to try and assimilate. You're going to try and assimilate. You're going to try and assimilate into a country, right? But what you've got to remember is when you come to Britain, you're not just assimilating into Britain, you're assimilating into England, Wales, like we've just been talking about, Southern Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. So it depends where your boat lands some of the time. And we can't solve the subject by going, oh, you can't mention these folk, you can't mention this, you can't mention to sort a problem. You need to face it head on, mate. You need to fucking talk about it. You need to shine light on subjects to rather than keeping them tucked away. And you've got two-tier Keir, who's got a two-tier policing system that favours the ideology of that camp.
Yep.
There's people getting jailed for Facebook posts where there's people getting community service for attacking certain coloured people. The white people getting 6 months, 12 months for writing a post on Facebook about attacking a hotel that's never committed a crime in their life, and then there's 16-year-old rapists getting community service.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, come on, mate.
100%, mate. I totally agree with you.
But you know what it is, wish everybody doesn't want to talk about it because they think, oh, I'll go away if I didn't talk about it. But it's not till it's your daughter. It's not till it's one of your family. Okay, we're in Scotland, mate. I'm in Fife, a mining village, so I'll probably be one of the last to feel the hammer to fall. But there's people feeling it right now, and I feel for they folk in Luton and all the places down that way where it's rife.
Luton's one of the worst.
Have you seen the statistics, mate?
Yep.
They
Luton's
make up
gone to
19, but right, Muslims make up 19% or something of the looting people, but yet they're convicted of 90% of the grapes. That number alone should make you fucking. It should stagger you.
Well, see because Luton
Hiya,
now,
Taurus.
right? Luton now has a Muslim-esque council, right? See all these grapes and all these assaults and whatnot else. It's getting even harder for the police to push that through Hingby because all the councils and all that are all sticking together, so it doesn't come out about all the shit that's going on.
100%. And see if Donald Trump didn't ever get into power there, wish you I dread to think what would have happened in the next 4 years, mate. I genuinely, as a world, as a species.
I like the way, personally, I think America in the next 2 years will start healing.
Yep.
As a nation, right? No juice through Donald Trump because, listen, there's always going to be haters of the guy and how he does things and that. But
of course,
see, once all these liberals start seeing money going back into their pockets that was
100%, Doc.
That'll change their fucking mindset, mate. That'll change a lot of mindset because let's be honest, mate.
Wish you what is it they call Glasgow? What is it they call Glasgow? A deportation. What is that called? What is it they call the places where they put immigrants? What is it called again?
Not a detention centre.
It's something like a Hingway zone. I was watching a guy talking about it. He was a leader in a Scottish party talking about it last
I know
night.
I watched it, mate.
It's called but Glasgow are trying to get themselves moved out of that category because they're sick to death. Like Doc's saying, there's places they can't walk down in their own country because these gangs that have made it up to Glasgow.
Susie, is that right?
Yep.
Sunday Road that back now? Fucking hell. That was one fucking stanch area here. Fuck me, man. I didn't realise it was as bad as that where you were.
I didn't.
Susie's saying even Sandy Row, one of the most kind of, well-known areas within a Protestant kind of area.
It's mental. And see, as much as I want to talk about flat earth, see talking about something like this as well, mate. It's these kind of subjects, like, I know that's the one, pal. You just need to start watching it. We need to start talking about stuff like this.
Well, this is what this is for. This is what this is for.
I'll do it off my backup channel because I know some of these subjects YouTube and StreamYard frown upon, and don't get me wrong, what folk need to remember is when you do have conversations and debates about things like this, it's everybody's got a right to their own ideas and their own thoughts, and just because somebody might be a wee bit more extreme than you or somebody might be totally the other side of the coin than you, that's just on that subject. Doesn't mean it defines a person. Doesn't mean you're right and they're wrong or vice versa. It just means it needs spoken about though, because it's the old saying. When it came for the gays, I just sat and said nothing. When they came for the blacks, I sat and said nothing. When they came for I said nothing. But when they came for me, there was nobody else to shout out for me. You know what I mean? That's it. V for Vendetta.
You need to give me that website, Chris. That channel, mate. I'd like to go and have a wee watch at it.
Yep.
Nelly, honestly, see the amount of Romanians and that's running
Chris,
about.
I would love to go
about my area
like that as well.
It's unreal.
I'd love to go on a channel like that where they just talk about that stuff calmly and everybody gets their say in that.
But I'll tell you what, I am very, 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 very surprised at Sandy Row because that is one place that I thought would. Wow. That's actually made me fucking. That's made me fucking.
I don't know. You explain to me what that is, wish you.
Right. Well, Sandy Row is an area in Belfast. Right. It's a street in Belfast, right? But it holds a couple of pubs and that, right? But it's well known for where kind of, I don't want to say, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Paramilitaries in that, you know
Yep,
what I mean? That area. But not just that, mate, just for like culture and Belfast and that and all, mate.
Proud people.
Correct, Susie, you just took my next one out of the next one out of my mouth there, pal. Aye. Do you see that one with Susie there?
The boy, all right,
The boy-
right, I've heard of that. Aye, yep. And that started to become the way of the pair.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's
Doc, the hub for Glasgow, it was the boy was talking about it last night. And you had tears in his eyes, man, talking about it. That's how fucking much it was breaking the guy's heart, man. He's saying, I'm watching my country, I'm watching my city around me dissolve and die, and I'm begging to talk to public members of the politicians, remember, like, and they're just no wanting to talk or sit down.
Aye. Well, there was something else I was wanting to talk about, and it kind
Go
of
for it, mate.
it's like a side project. It's like a side kind of has it's a segue to what we're talking about now. But
Chris, bang on.
have you, and even in the chat, guys in the chat, have you seen all the videos that's getting put up onto TikTok about all these immigrants taking videos of wee ones at swing parks and
And it's
swimming and all that?
It's not even illegal. The police can't do nothing about it.
Wow.
It's not even illegal. They can walk over to they can walk over to a park. This was what the boy in Glasgow was saying. They can walk over to a play park, mate, take a picture that isn't even their kid. The police can see that picture on the phone that's not their kid, and they can't even take the picture after the person as long as they're on public foot on the public. Come on, man.
Do you know something?
Is it not about time we started making sense again and shook the establishment into thinking correctly that before there is a riot, before places burn to the ground, before there's people getting stabbed, shot and hit and chased and...
Aye. Do you know something, Richard? And I'm going to say it here now because I've said it. I've spoke to a policeman regarding it. With an issue in real life that I had witnessed.
Highlight Susie's comment, mate.
I will never, from this day forward, be saying before whatever comes out of my mouth. I mean, I'm not a racist, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that any fucking more. I am not having to put a, what do you call it?
I'm sorry, but this is my thoughts, kind of like a precursor, a preclaimer.
Like a warning on a packet now, like a warning on a film.
I'm sorry for the way I feel.
I'm not doing that anymore. I am refusing to do that anymore because
mate, you're a
people think I'm that. That's them.
You care about the nation of Britain. You care about your country, mate. You care about your nation. People maybe care about Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales, but at the end of the day, we are Britain. As much as if it comes to it, we all hate to fight. If we're getting invaded for top, bottom, left, and right, we hate to come together and stand as one. As much as we maybe can go back to not liking each other or whatever after it, we are British. We've on our passports it says Britain.
Well, if you look at what Susie's just said there.
Yep. That's my point, mate. Folk need to remember their cultures because they're trying to fucking breed it out of us, mate. They're trying to breed our culture. They're taking away our holidays. They want to take down our statues. They want to take down all our historian statues of men that went to wars and done. The left went crazy. We want it all ripped down. They wanted They didn't want us to.
Do you know where
hate.
all this free speech came from? All this push. Oh, that came from the Black.
Black Lives Matter, George Soros.
Yep, 100%. And now that carpets a full genre of things that you can't open your mouth about. Honest, it's weird.
It is, and it's like you say, everybody has to, well, no so much now, but everybody like us had to say, I didn't mean this to hurt anybody's feelings. It's like Bazzies and that. I'm only joking, Eric, but no, I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but I don't like the way Islam is taught here, there, and it. If you feel like that, say the fucking thing, because they should have saying that before they're saying their 10 pence worth.
Exactly.
And so what do you do, right? Let's just say, for an example, what would you say the ballpark number is? 70% Brits against 30% Muslims. Let's just say that was it, right? Let's
I think
just
it's
say
a lot closer than you think, mate.
I know, but let's just say that for the sake of what I'm going to say next, right? What are we better doing? Taking the subject on now when it's 70-30, or waiting till it's 50-50, or it's 40-60 to them? Because when it's 40-60 to them, they ain't going to be as patient with fucking us.
Exactly.
Sharia
100%.
law and all that, the genital mutilation, didn't get me started. I could go on all night about it, mate. But and that's why I like Tommy Robinson, because Tommy Robinson's the only one that's gave up so much in real time, in real life, that I don't agree with everything that comes out his mouth. He didn't do himself favours when he was younger with his thug stuff, but he was a young lad. He was a football hooligan. He admits that. But the time he spent away from his kids, the hassle that's came to his door, his wife, bodyguards, time in jail. He's in a jail cell right now, ill. As we speak, he's ill in a cell because he played a video that he got told if he played it, he was going to jail. And the reason he played it was because it was the truth. Silenced, it was called.
Aye, it's
the wee boy that went to school and got flung onto the ground, slam dunked onto the ground with the wee lassie's big brother that he threatened to grape the day before. And all the teachers said that he was a wee cunt and all this and that, but the newspapers and the news programmes were all saying he was a wee angel, poor wee guy, went to school and got bullied because of his ethnicity. Come on. Piers Morgan as well. I hate that man.
He's just another guy who presses buttons, mate.
He's a shill for the establishment. He's a shill. See
what Susie said there, right?
George
if you
Floyd.
look at her comment,
yeah.
See, if you look at all the other ethnicities, right, that has settled in, let's just say, the UK and Republic of Ireland, right? You look at all them, like, you've got Chinese immigrants, you have Indian immigrants, you have Pakistani immigrants, you have Polish immigrants, you have Russian immigrants, you have Lithuanians,
Romanian,
we have Slovakia, we have they're part of the one. I'm talking about the ones who have assimilated.
Oh, aye, sorry, mate.
Who have assimilated to our cultures. They've accepted.
Pakistan's been doing it for the 80s, was you, bro?
This is what I'm saying. All these smaller ethnic groups have assimilated and respected the culture.
Yes.
And are living in peace with the people.
Celebrating our holidays and their own.
Yes. It's not even the holiday thing, mate. I'm just saying, like, the Chinese.
But they were wanting to quit Sir George's Day and all that in England. They were wanting to quit, what was the one in Scotland? They were wanting to stop all the, like, celebrating St George's Day. Imagine asking to stop celebrating.
That was a leftist fucking politicians and all that was doing all that. They were all getting, as you say, George Soros, mate. This is where it all comes from.
Yes.
This is where it all comes from, mate. He's it's all to do with money, mate. Everything's to do with money.
Oh,
End of
of course,
story.
of course.
Everything's to do with money.
Money runs the world. It doesn't matter. There's no two ways about it. They put it in the right places and grease the right pockets and hands.
Aye. There was a wee Scottish politician who, to start with, I had kind of watched. I had kind of been like, she's actually quite good. She's saying certain things, and she's saying things in Parliament
Yep.
that you're not hearing getting said. But even now, that's her kind of getting a wee bit more elevated in her party, and she's making her way through the ranks and that. And the more
She'll get
she's
took
making her
behind the
way through
shed
the
with
ranks,
you.
the quieter she's becoming, man.
Aye, she'll get took behind the shed, mate, like they do with all of them, and she'll get told, "Do you want an extra couple of zeros on your annual salary here? No, here's your book. Read it and learn it."
Aye, 100%, mate. And these are the people that go into the government, go into council and politics with the right reason and the right.
Look at Salmond and
mindset.
Nicola Sturgeon to start with. For fuck's sake, they were brilliant, but then they went and totally went loopy. Started wanting men to go into women's jails as long as they claimed that they were women, and
That's a leftist mindset, mate.
they're insane, mate. The lunatics are running the asylum, mate. We're in a lockdown, right? We're watching 70-year-old couples that have been married for 50 years saying goodbye to each other on Zoom calls while they're having wine and cheese parties, mate. That's when you turn on your government, when you hear Boris Johnson having wine and cheese parties, guffawing at all of us while we're watching our grands and granddads saying goodbye to each other on a Zoom call with quarantine tents around them in fucking hazmat suits.
100%. Good to see you, Mikey, pal. Good to see you.
Mikey.
We'll see you in a while, mate. Well, you've actually just jumped up at the end there, Mikey, mate, but I'll probably do one through the week. I'm going to end this now, guys, man. That's now. I was only going to do an hour, but we're now nearly an hour.
Wish you change the name of it when you come off the live, go into edit and just change it from we are to political talk or something like that, and you've covered a lot of good topics tonight, mate, and the watchability.
There's a lot more I want to talk about, mate, man, but you can't do it all in one night.
How many times have you mentioned another YouTuber or any bollocks and drama?
Once.
Aye. And that in an hour and a half is fucking hard to do, mate.
Aye. Well, there is one other thing I would like to say, guys. Subscribe.
Do you want me to pop off so you can say cheerio to your subs?
Aye, that's what I was just going to do.
Right,
Richard, thank you again for popping up, pal.
But
no problem, my pal. No, right, everybody. I just want to say thanks for coming in again. I've enjoyed this. The night. This is the kind of way I want to see things going. Been able to speak about things and been able to, I wouldn't say debate, but to have a better say on all acts of your life and all acts of your culture. I don't listen in no way do I profess to know everything. I don't, mate. I just have an opinion on things, and I'll listen to everybody's opinion, but 9 times out of 10 I'll never go with my actual opinion. I'll stick to my guns, but I will listen to everybody and take what it's about. But this is the way I'm wanting us to go. But I have enjoyed it. But there's a shitload of other topics I would like to bring up. You know what I mean? And to sit and have a topic about. It's just you can't do that in one live. So in the next, I don't know, maybe one. I'll maybe even just do I'll maybe just do one of the just out of the blue ones, and we can get tore on about it again. You know what I mean? But Aye, there's so many things we need to speak about, and as I say, this term you need to say I'm no racist, but or I'm no a bigot, but that term needs to get hanged right out of all our vocabularies. Do you know what I mean? But it's been good to watch, to see what Susie, Chris, and that. It's good to see all coming in, and everybody that's put something towards the chat tonight. It's been good, and I've really enjoyed it. It has been good. But guys, I just want to say thanks again, and give a wee sub if he's can, or he's know anybody that would like to give a wee sub. I want to try and get my subscribers up a wee bit, and try and do a wee bit more. You know what I mean? I'm looking to do up different stuff. But a big shout out, right, Chris? Thanks for coming in, big fella, man. It's good to see you again. Susie, you're a wee darling. Thanks for coming in. Nelly, I've enjoyed your chat tonight, and it's been really, really, really good. Had a good laugh. Doc, you also, pal. I've enjoyed having you in, pal. Chris, sorry, Mikey, you were late to the hangway, but it's good to see you. Gav B, it's good to see you again, my pal and all, mate. I don't see enough of you, mate. We'll need to get a wee chat sorted soon, mate. But big up everybody who came in. It's much appreciated. Eric Bischoff. You know, there's been a lot of nice people in River Mac as well. You know, there's been a lot of nice people in, but just everybody have a blessed Sunday night, and have a blessed week, and I hope you are all your families and that are well, and you are taking care. Take care, guys, man. All the best.